One of the things that's most unique about this production of the Magic Flute is the use of shadow puppetry. So we found Shadow Light, a company out of San Francisco. They spent about 2 weeks here with us, developing what the shadows would be and teaching our crew how to manipulate them. And it was the opening of a world that I had not thought about, and it was very interesting.
Stephen came to me with the idea that he wanted this to work with shadow puppetry. It's so perfectly suited for this type project. It's perfectly suited for dance and for the Magic Flute in and of itself, just because of the sense of mystery that the piece has. I had to make sure that the shadow puppets fit into our environment as a whole for the dance and for the design. Sometimes if you use shadow puppetry and you have a lot of three-dimensional things around it, it can make them look very flat. So I made sure that this entire design felt as though it were also cutouts and layers of shadows. And it makes the shadows feel at home because the shadows become the fourth layers of the same type of cutouts.
We brought the dancers to our warehouse where we had set up all the lighting instruments and the backdrop that the shadows would be reflected onto. And then we just experimented.
And kind of playing a lot with perspective and how different turn of angle of the body might read differently with the shadow on the back of the cyc. One of the first scenes that Papageno comes out in, he enters larger than life, and that's created by being closer to the light in the back to project the shadow onto the cyc. At the same time, 4 birds come out that are really close to the cyc, giving them the perspective of a normal-sized human. A point I have to reach out and actually pet the birds' heads, and so the perspective that the audience is seeing is that I must be right above them, but to actually create the effect, I'm way back off the back of the cyc. The birds are up here, and I'm having to sort of side-eye the whole perspective to make sure that my finger is touching each top of their heads as we see the light kind of projecting from the front. And that took a while.
It was a great deal of fun. And, you felt like a kid, and we've all done that, right? We've all played with light, when we're children in our bedrooms in the dark. So it was almost like going back to that again, and so much fun.